Something that can be very frustrating if you're a person living with MS is what people often call invisible symptoms. I remember going through the phase of my journey where I just felt like people would look at me and they'd say, "You don't look sick." But they didn't see the fatigue I was dealing with, the brain fog, the nerve pain, all of the things that were happening inside of my body that are associated with MS. And for several years, actually, I thought that it was my function and purpose on this planet to help people understand that just because you can't see my symptoms, just because you can't see my illness, that doesn't mean that there isn't something going on. I wanted to be able to share with people that if you don't have MS, you can't understand what it's like to have MS. And what I didn't realize at the time was that even though I was looking at it from a perspective of this could really help people, to help others who don't understand know what it's like to live with MS, I was focusing on MS and symptoms all of the time. And this was before I shifted my perspective from thinking and believing that medicine was the only solution, was going to be the answer for me when it came to living with this illness, was to manage my symptoms using disease modifying drugs. And when I got to the part of my journey where it'd been 7 years, I'd been taking the medication, I'd been the model patient, I went to all of the appointments, I did everything my doctors told me to do, and I continued to get sicker. I started to look at things and think, okay, is this really the solution? Is this really the way I need to go? And I had a pretty harsh, eye-opening comment from a friend, my best friend. And they say, good friends will tell you what you want to hear. Great friends will tell you what you need to hear. And that was my situation with my friend at the time. I was raising money for the MS Society because at this point, I was not so much having faith in the fact that medicine was going to help me, was going to be my answer. And so I thought, okay, I'll raise money for the societies that support people with MS, and hopefully they'll come up with a solution one day that will save my problems or fix my problems. And so I asked my friend, will you sponsor me? I'm doing this MS bike ride. I'd raised thousands of dollars for MS. I have multiple jerseys and trophies to show just how much effort and work I'd put into that. And when I asked her if she'd sponsor me, she gave me this statement that helped me get to what in hypnosis world we call threshold. She said, "I love you, Kate. I will absolutely sponsor you, but you know they're never going to come up with a cure, right?" Ugh, that was such a hard thing for me to hear. I was hurt. I was angry. I couldn't believe she said that to me. You're my best friend. You know how hard I've been trying, how hard I've been working to get to a place where I can hopefully start to feel a bit better, and that's the response. And within a few days, my mind started to shift, and I started to question, okay, maybe she's right. All of this time, all of this 7 years on this journey, I've been waiting for something outside of me to come and rescue me. I've been waiting for a knight in shining armor to come and solve this invisible illness that I'm living with that no one seems to understand and that I just felt stuck with and felt alone. And if she's right, that means maybe there's something I can do. And so that statement, as much as it hurt, it gave me this fresh perspective. It helped me realize that I could take my power back and start working towards getting better. And so when it comes to the invisible illness, I've been in the position where I thought that that was just my reality. And so I owned it. I carried it around like I was wearing a backpack. And over time, it just got heavier and heavier and heavier to the point where I didn't feel like I could carry it anymore. And when I started to shift my perspective and think, okay, so why are these symptoms happening? Rather than just looking at them as something I had to accept. Why are they happening? And what can I do to maybe help my body deal with them in a different way? And at this time, my perspective, my awareness opened and shifted. And that's when I started to see different options. My narrow focus on medication as the only answer, when that shifted, things like nutrition showed up for me, things like spirituality and mindset work and hypnosis all were things that were completely out of my perspective and awareness in the past, things that I automatically rejected because they weren't within my model of the world. And as I started to shift that view, these things showed up. And so I started to try things. I started with nutrition, although my spouse will argue now that I actually started with mindset because I looked at things and thought, I'm not doing things the way I've done them in the past. I started to question the beliefs that I had, the beliefs that I'd stuck to for such a long time, feeling like in a place of power because this is my belief, this is what I think, and so this is what I'm doing. And you can stay there and you can stay in that place, and that can be the hill that you climb and the rest of your life lives on. But at the same time, it's like, if it's not getting you where you want to go, is that really serving you? And so when I opened my perspective and changed the way I looked at things, there's a saying, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. It was pretty cool what I started to notice. So nutrition, if you had told me I was a science-minded kid, I was a trust the science child, I was medicine is the way to go perspective. And I had to start to kind of bend that and look for different options because it wasn't getting me where I wanted to go. But if you had told me after I was diagnosed or like 10 or 15 years ago that I would be a holistic nutritionist, I probably would have told you that you were crazy. And now I'm in the place where, okay, that is what went into. And now I'm also a consulting hypnotist. Again, look back 20 years out, I'm like, you are wrong. I'm never going to go that route. And it's been one of the most empowering things that I've added to my journey. When my friend said that to me back in the day when things started to shift, that took me to threshold instantly. And what is threshold? From a hypnosis perspective, that's when you know there has to be a change, you know it has to happen now, and you know that you're the one who has to do it. And so in that moment or in the few days following when she said that to me about the direction I'd been focusing on and what I've been doing, all of those three things came to function, came to reality. And when we can accept all of those things, something needs to change, it needs to be now, and it needs to be me. That's when change starts to happen. That's when change is possible. And working with clients as a hypnotist, it's amazing when someone is at that point, how quickly they can start to move in the direction that they want. And amazing things start to show up for them. The unconscious mind is always trying to prove you right. It's always trying to give you evidence of the things that you think about and focus on the most. And so if you're focused on, my life is just going to continue to get worse, I just need to convince people that living with MS is hard. I need to talk about this invisible illness thing and help people understand what that means and all of these different things. The mind is like, oh, okay, she wants MS. Awesome. Here's a symptom. Here's another symptom. Here's another symptom. Yeah, is that good? Or she's still talking about it. Here, I'll give you another one. And things just continue to get worse. Now my perspective has shifted and has for quite a few years. I've been symptom-free for 9 years now, living off medication. And so the way I look at things now is every day I'm getting healthier and healthier. I have dozens of people on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, all who repeat this saying to themselves every single day. Every day I'm getting healthier and healthier. And the number of messages I get on a daily basis like makes me smile all of the time. Because people reach out and they say, oh, my legs have been less wobbly and I'm able to walk longer distances without worrying about it. I have more energy. I don't need a nap in the afternoon anymore. I'm able to focus better. School has been easier because I'm paying better attention. My business is like things start to happen when you start focusing on what you want. Imagine getting into your car and in the GPS programming all the things you don't want and then being surprised when you get there. Think about it that way. When we're focusing on the things we want, think about it like you're putting it in your GPS. Because often when I start with a new client and I ask them, what do you want? I will take a piece of paper and I will write down all the things they tell me. Your words matter because your unconscious mind has vetted those words, those sayings. So I will repeat back the words that you've said because your mind will accept those. But when I get people to tell me what they want and I'm writing it down, then as we go through and once this page is full of the things that they want, I'll separate it and put things you don't want on one side and things you want on the other. A lot of people will come back with, I don't want symptoms. I don't want brain fog. I don't want my legs to feel so heavy. I don't want all of these things. Well, if you put that into your GPS, The GPS doesn't understand negatives. The unconscious mind doesn't understand negatives. I don't want symptoms. Delete the don't. What have you got left? I want symptoms. And so the mind says, oh, okay, yeah, I can show you that. I can do that. And so it's really important what you focus on, because we can get the unconscious mind working on our side. It's the center of health and well-being is controlled by your unconscious mind. So why wouldn't you want that on your side? So we can stay in a place of focusing on, I have this invisible illness, people don't understand me, I feel alone, I feel unheard. Or what if you started to shift that? What if you started to make an effort in focusing every day on every day I'm getting healthier and healthier. Every day I'm getting stronger and stronger. I'm giving this to you as a gift, this mantra. You can change it and make it your own. Just give this to you because I know this one works. I know this one works. It's positive. It's focusing on where you want to go. So take it, use it, and then send me a message and let me know how it works out for you. What comes up for you? You can be amazed if you want. Or you can just be like, of course, and keep going with your life and keep focusing on getting healthier and healthier, and how much that will change your life, your quality of life, your family, everything around you will change if you can focus on your health and getting better. And so I hope you found value in this. I am Kate McDowell from Aligned Natural Health, and these are the conversations I love to have with people. I don't look back at my situation. It's 20 years since I was diagnosed. I was 22 years old. It was 2005. And I don't look back at that situation and the struggle that I went through, or I can't look back at that and think there was no purpose behind it. So it's my mission now to help people realize that they have so much more personal power than they've been led to believe. And if I can help you with taking a few steps forward towards that journey, or I work with clients one-on-one, and the stuff that they're able to accomplish and achieve is amazing as well. So if this interests you, subscribe to the channel for sure, because I share lots of stuff like this. And I hope that a perspective shift happens for you. If you know anyone who's dealing with MS, please share this with them as well. And if you would like to connect with me, there are links in my profile where you can book a call with me. You can download the free hypnosis for MS audio that I created. And there's lots of tools and resources I'd be more than happy to share with you. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon.